Hello and welcome back to Samtimetomorrow. Today I want to show you how you can start your own container garden using food grade buckets that you can find really inexpensive and sometimes for free at bakeries. So I have a 2-gallon bucket here and a 5-gallon bucket here. These are icing buckets and I got both of these from Walmart and they sell them for $1 a piece. I live in Pennsylvania and another store that is all over the place here is Giant. And I called them and they actually give away their icing buckets for free. Another way you can possibly get free buckets is call around to local delis. Local places that you know are selling sandwiches and have pickles. My brother, he worked at a restaurant that they would just throw away their pickle buckets and they sell those in 5-gallon sizes, and all my 5-gallon buckets are actually pickle buckets. Now, I like to use these buckets because they're inexpensive, possibly even able to find them for free, and they're food grade. The 2-gallon buckets, you could easily put your peppers in these. You could put herbs, you could put flowers, you could put onions, garlic, lots of things that don't need really deep roots. The only thing is you're going to want to make sure you're keeping them watered. In the 5-gallon bucket, I like to put my bigger tomatoes in this. I've also done cabbages, ground cherries work really well in this, tomatillos. The only thing with your bigger plants that are going to grow and get tall is you're going to want to stake them so they have a support and that they're just not going to flop over on you. And whenever you're using the 5-gallon buckets, you could easily put 2 pepper plants in one of these. You could also put tomatoes and an herb. Tomatoes and basil are good companion plants, so that'd be something really good to put in there. The only other thing that's going to cost you any money is the soil, and that can be whatever type of soil you want to use. You're going to want to use a potting soil because you're going to want your plants to be able to breathe and drain. I got this soil from Aldi's for $5. It is a 1 cubic foot bag, and I know Walmart is also selling soil similarly priced. So what you're going to have to do to get these ready is put holes in the bottom. The other thing you're going to need is either gravel, or if you're looking for something free, go look for some sticks. I live in an area that has lots of trees, so there's always branches falling. All you're going to do is snap these down, and this is going to be your buffer between the holes in the bottom of the bucket so you have some drainage. One other thing that you're going to need is, since these buckets are pretty tough, I wouldn't recommend going through them with a knife because I do not want anyone to get hurt, is a drill. And you're going to need a drill bit that's pretty big so you can add a few holes to the bottom. If you don't have a drill, ask around. Someone has to have a drill near you. You can always bring the buckets to them to see if they'll put the holes in for you, or borrow it from them. So you're going to take your bucket, flip it upside down, and just put some holes in the bottom. Next, you're going to want to take those twigs and branches that you found and just layer them on the bottom. You're going to want to make sure they're small enough that they're laying flat. And remember, this is just to make sure your soil is draining properly. And then you're just going to put your soil in. Now the only other thing you could do is you could find more twigs, some kind of barrier to keep the soil from splashing up on your plants when you're watering them or when it's raining. And what I like to do is I like to use wood chips. Now this may seem pretty straightforward, it may seem pretty obvious, but sometimes you don't know where you can get those cheap options for containers. I know you can go to the Dollar Tree, but a lot of the containers I get from the Dollar Tree, they'll maybe last a year and they'll crack if you leave them out over winter, or they can even crack in their first year. These are going to last you for a while. I know my husband has probably hit them with a weed whacker a few times and they haven't busted at all. So that's important. If you're going to spend any amount of money, or if you're going to spend any time creating a garden, you want it to last. You don't want it to be something you have to replace every year. Now, the biggest thing you're going to have to do with this is feed the soil each year. Feed the soil each time you're adding a new plant to it. So I wanted to talk a little more about soil. Now this soil is not an organic soil. I can see the synthetic fertilizer in it, the little green dots. You know, those little green pebbles that are going to be slow releasing fertilizer. And if that's not something you want, then you're going to have to invest a little bit more into your soil. The perfect thing about these containers is you don't need a backyard to put them somewhere. You can put them on your front porch, you can put them on a balcony, and the only thing you have to do is water them. And you can grow some of your own food. It's really rewarding. It's something really fun to do with the kids. You can give them their own bucket and make them responsible for keeping that plant alive. Now, if you also wanted to start your own seeds, you're able to get seeds really cheap at Walmart and at the Dollar Tree. But I wouldn't recommend this potting soil for that because it's not sterilized. Now, the potting soil that I've been using for my plants and my seeds, if I'm just starting them straight in there, is the Pro Mix from Walmart. It's a peat moss. I know it's not the best for the environment, but I know it's not killing my plants when I put them in there or when I start my seeds, which is really important. Now, this is one of my old 5-gallon buckets that I just thought it was time to replace the soil in it, so I put the soil on my garden bed. I just want to see how much 1 cubic foot can get you. I'm going to press it down a little bit because the rain will make it. And then I'll put some wood chips on top of that. So using 1 cubic foot of potting soil, you can fill 1 2-gallon bucket and 1 5-gallon bucket. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this video is helpful, and if you have any suggestions of your own, leave me a comment down below. And if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos from me in the future, go ahead and subscribe. I'm really enjoying making videos about gardening. I just feel calm and at peace when I'm doing it.